I don't even know where to begin in regards to this team right now. For those of you who don't know, we just lost on Monday Night Football to the Atlanta Falcons, 22-21, on a last-second drive, basically. Listen, this is the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. I'm your host, Asif Badi. And don't be fooled by my calm demeanor right now. I sound calm. I sound tranquil. But let me tell you, I'm incensed. I'm angry. And that emotion may come out of me during this episode. And for anybody who is a family friend, or just my friend, and is offended by possible profanity, let me just throw out a sincere apology to all of you, because I don't know how I'm going to be able to control my mouth on this episode. And it's not like I'm going to curse out the team. No. It's just going to be blind rage, probably. And it may not start like that, but we probably will get there, right? We're about to find out. Let's address the elephant in the room. This defense is still awful. This defense flat out stinks. No Eagle fan can sit here and tell you this Eagles defense is good. And if you do believe that this Eagles defense tonight was good, you're just being stupid. The Atlanta Falcons literally had Kirk Cousins. They literally had the immovable object in the pocket. And we couldn't sniff the guy. Bryce Huff. He looks like an awful football player. That guy, he fucking stinks, man. Can't play the run. Stinks in pass rush. Has no motor. Can't fucking tackle. He looks awful. And that was the big signing this offseason. That was the signing that everybody thought, hey, Howie nailed it. This guy fucking stinks. Nowhere to be seen on the fucking field. And then not only that, when he's off the field, you got to put Nolan Smith in. And I've been really patient with Nolan Smith. But he also looks like the guy can't fucking play. Hell, when Milton Williams got the sack in the first half, Nolan Smith is going for a move, a pass rush move, and he gets decked like a fucking ragdoll. And I'm sitting here going like, damn. This dude looks like he doesn't belong on the field. Jordan Davis had some nice plays tonight, but he is meant to be a force for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's meant to be a Sam Adams type of guy, to be a fire hydrant, to be an immovable force in the middle of your defense, to play the run. And this fucking guy looks like he has no idea how to stay in shape. Looks gassed all the time. Jalen Carter played okay tonight. We can't have okay play from Jalen Carter, our most talented defender. Quinyon Mitchell looked good in moments. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. It happens. There's no scenario when this defense plays on the field that Brandon Graham in your farewell tour looks like your best defensive lineman. This fucking defense can't stop the run, evidently can't stop the pass, and they're saying, oh, the scheme that we play does not allow this defense to be beaten over the top. That's the point. We don't want to give up big plays in this defensive unit. Kirk Cousins threw for 241 yards. And, I mean, he drove the last drive. He got down the field in 3 plays. No big plays allowed. Yeah, let's just allow 15-yard, 20-yard chunks at a time instead of getting beaten over the top for 30 yards, right? That's the idea. That's the thing that you want to do. Get beat to the sideline in a 2-minute drill where guys are literally just walking out of bounds, catching the ball, walking down the park like they're going for a fucking stroll, killing clock, and then they're like, oh yeah, I can stop the clock by going out of bounds. Let me do that. Defenders on this defense can't tackle. Our defensive line generates no pass rush. We get no interior run defense. Our linebacker play is it is below average at best. The only good thing is parts of our secondary. And even then, this Atlanta Hawks offense went down the field and said, let's find James Bradbury. Nope, he's not even on the field. I got it. Let's find the next guy, the next old guy. Let's find Darius Slay and let's test his ass because he got cooked on the last drive too. And I love Darius Slay, but that motherfucker's going to go on his damn podcast and he's going to talk about how, hey, listen, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's how the game falls sometimes. You just got to play the next game and you go on from there. No. Not when all year, not when all offseason, not when this fan base, the freaking fan base of the Philadelphia Eagles is sitting here talking this team up like they're ready to compete for a Super Bowl title. Like they're looking at the rest of the NFC and they're saying, hey, name me a scary team in the NFC that Philadelphia can't compete with this offense. The San Francisco 49ers got a Super Bowl slump. No one's afraid of Dallas. Detroit is the only team that maybe we have to contend with, but their defense isn't great. Philadelphia can win the Super Bowl. They can get to the Super Bowl. Let me tell you guys this. No chance in fucking hell that this team has any business of being in Super Bowl talks. Not with that defense. Not when Bryce Huff looks like he can't fucking play. Not when Nolan Smith looks like he can't fucking play. Not when Jordan Davis looks like he's out of shape once again. Jalen Carter generating no pass rush. Brandon Graham is your best defensive lineman, and the man's damn near 40. Zach Bond is your answer at linebacker with Nakobe Dean? And I know he looked great against the Packers, but I don't give a shit about that. This was a horrific display by this team and this defense. Awful. You realize we had the ball in the second half for damn near 20 minutes. Atlanta had the ball for 10. In the second half, when we had the lead We had a lead for the most part. And right down the field they fucking go with Kirk Cousins. And I don't want to hear this shit anymore about Kirk Cousins in primetime games or Kirk Cousins isn't clutch. In 2022, he had 8 fourth quarter game-winning drives. And he just did another one again. I don't want to hear that the guy can't come up in big moments, because he did. Came up bigger in this moment than Jalen Hurts did for us tonight. And I know you're thinking, hey, Jalen Hurts had the 2 drives that was basically 7 minutes a pop that got us 10 points in the last, or 11 points, excuse me, because we had the 2-point conversion. Guess what? When you had 30 seconds left, you completed a pass to Devonta Smith for like a 10-yard gain, which was nice. And then you completed one to Dallas Goedert, which was awesome. And you had like 27 seconds left with a timeout on your pocket. All you needed was 10 to 15 yards to put Jake Elliott in field goal position. And Jalen Hurts, after playing a relatively clean game, drops back, looks, forces a ball to Devonta Smith because the guy looked like he had no idea of the fucking situation. This isn't the only time we've seen this happen. We saw this in Seattle, where he could have just tucked it and ran, tried to move around, buy more time, try to get yardage. Instead, he tries to force one down the field, thinking he's going to get a 40-yard play because he thinks he needs it, and it ends up being a fucking interception that ends the ball game. The guy's turning and playing like he's a turnover machine. When all his career, he was so judicious with the football. And now this guy can't go a game without throwing a fucking interception or fumbling the football. This guy got paid $50 million. You got to play better than that, Jalen Hurts. And Kellen Moore, with this fucking offense, everyone in Philly is going to look at this game and you're going to ask yourself, the third down call, who do we blame for that? And I guarantee you the heat's going to go to Nick Sirianni on this one. And he even thought about it after the game. They had a press conference and he was asked, the third down call, what did basically, I'm paraphrasing, like, the third down call, what was up with that, basically, right? And he goes, not my call. Kellen Moore calls the plays here. That was his call. And I know one of his values for this team is accountability, and maybe there was a lack thereof in that moment. But you know what? I don't blame Nick Sirianni for that, because all offseason, this whole organization, the whole fan base, the national media was literally bending this guy over and sticking their foot up his ass, saying how he was to blame for last year's debacle. Now, partly that's true. Partly the reason that this team was horrific at the end of the season last year. And the offseason was so that Nick Sirianni's got a hands-off approach. No influence in the offensive game plan. No, hands-on approach to anything involving this team. He's basically a CEO coach, just managing practices, managing, personalities and all that. Organizationally, they castrated the man, cut off his ball sack, and told him to be a yes man. And then it's great when things go well. It's great when you're winning games, which we won last week in Brazil. Fine. But when something goes wrong and you have nobody to blame, you got a problem. Because the same people we were praising last week in Brazil with Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore and Saquon Barkley, those are the same people whose fault it was that we lost this game tonight. And any other fan who thinks otherwise, any fan who thinks that you cannot put the blame on Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, you're fooling yourself. This was a horrific loss on Monday night. What makes it even worse is that the rest of the NFC, the rest of the NFL, had upsets up and down the schedule. You could have been in position as the Philadelphia Eagles to be 2-0 in the NFC when the Niners, the Lions, the Cowboys come off an upset loss. It's an opportunity in the NFC right now. The Rams aren't looking great. The Bears aren't looking great. The Packers don't have Jordan Love. The Vikings, albeit look good, they have Sam Darnold at quarterback. So prior to the season, we thought, hey, they're out of the question. The Niners came off a Super Bowl. Super Bowl hangover can happen. Detroit was a team that to be feared. The Dallas Cowboys made bad offseason decisions. Philadelphia added all this talent on the offensive side of the ball. And tonight, this offense, this game plan, the play calling was so bad. We were gashing them all night with the run. And Jalen, I felt like every other play was a damn bubble screen to Britton Covey or a quick out route to Devonta Smith. And then when it wasn't there, it was Jalen Hurts running, making a play. I will say this. He ran the ball well tonight. And for the most part, I thought he was okay running the offense. But situationally, this team is dumb as fuck. And that comes down to coaching. And you got to look at Kellen more, and you got to look at Fangio for that. Because it's not Nick Sirianni's fault that this team is coming up short in situational moments here. Hell, last week we had red zone interceptions by Jalen Hurts. That's not fucking Nick Sirianni's fault. That's Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts' fault for not committing to the run. Tonight, Vic Fangio's got a lot of explaining to do. Howie Roseman has got a lot of explaining to do because this defense looks like it's got guys you can't fucking play on all levels of the defense. And we're going to sit here and say, this is a Super Bowl winning team. This is a Super Bowl caliber roster. Give me a fucking break. We have no business being mentioned in any Super Bowl conversation this year until further notice. You get loose to the fucking Falcons in basically a minute on Monday Night Football. Your offense cannot look pedestrian and anemic without A.J. Brown on the field. When you have guys like Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Jahan Dotson, and Jalen Hurts, who you paid $50 million to, with that offensive line. You cannot put up a measly 21 points against this Falcons defense. The Pittsburgh Steelers put up 18, and they have no fucking offense. This is a horrific loss by Philadelphia. And any person who tells you that it's not a big deal, it's just week 2, you guys can bounce back, tell them to shut the fuck up. And anybody who's going to sit here and say, hey, dude, calm down, it's just week 2, like, don't be a Debbie Downer, fuck you. That's my message to you. Because this is the exact reason why this team will come up short unless it fixes its fucking problems. And that's with personnel, that's with scheme, that's with the damn commitment to running the ball. We're trying to be something that we're not. And next week we got the fucking Saints, who look like a juggernaut right now. Are they going to be another team that drops a fucking 40 burger on us? Are they going to be a team that just runs through this defense like butter? I'll tell you what. This defense and Jalen Hurts on the offensive side of things better step the fuck up, because these guys, Jalen Hurts, you asked for this. You asked for all the pressure to be on you, and now it's on your shoulders. You got to deliver. All Eagle fans are asking, we need better coaching and we need new coordinators. We need Sirianni to be hands off. And this, Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio. Now it's your time. Now it's your show. Let's see the coaching job you guys can do. Because if it's anything like it was tonight, if that's what we're going to continue to see down the season, this season's fucked. All of it. And then you're going to have to clean house with every fucking buddy. So this is a very, very sad night for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this week, they're going to be getting a lot of shit for what we saw on Monday Night Football. And it's going to be well-deserved. Hey, thank you so much for watching the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. If you want to continue to support the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Riding the Bench Eagles Pod. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. Thank you so much for listening, and please join us next time here at the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast.